What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back to my unit review series for Fire Emblem Heroes. Today I'm going to be reviewing Joshua, and in this video I will be telling you guys how good he is and what are some of his best countertense options. We will also take a look at some of his best teammates who can support him and some counters that you should watch out for when using him. So Joshua is a reward from the less than heroic Tempest Trial, and he's actually a pretty nice free to play unit to have. Let's take a look at his 5-star stats. The first thing you would notice about him is that he has got an insanely high base stat total. It's even 1 point higher than Ira, and after armored units, Joshua has got the highest base stat total in the game. It's really good because free-to-play players can use him for arena due to his high BST and the fact that he comes with a legendary weapon and 2 high cost default skills, so he can give you a lot of points in arena. His HP stat is actually pretty decent and he can take hits quite well with that, and his mixed bulk, his HP is not really high enough to abuse something like Panic Ploy Sacred Seal, but that's fine. His base attack is 31, and with legendary sword Adelma, he can reach 47 attack, which is average at best, so he's lacking a bit in his attack stat. He has got an above average speed stat, which is good as he will not get doubled by too many enemies, and that helps him have a better longevity. It's also a great speed stat to have, as after Swift Sparrow, Fury, or a Hone Speed buff, he can start to double a decent amount of units. His defense is also above average at 30, which is good enough to take physical hits, and with close defense he can reach 36 defense in the enemy phase, which is great. His res is pretty high at 33 after the +5 bonus from Adelma, and he can be a really good mage tank with his high res. Having this much res also enables him to abuse ploy skills like defense ploy. His weapon is Adelma's sword, which is a legendary sword, so it cannot be inerted to anyone, and it functions as a sling edge, but it also grants him +5 res. Till now we only knew that intelligent systems made weapons which gave +3 bonus to a certain stat, like Blazing Durandal, Resolute Blade, and Weirding Tome, and many more weapons. So apparently now they can give +5 bonus to a weapon, which is pretty interesting to know. Or they could have just been sticking very close to the source material, because Adelma's sword in Sacred Stones also gives its user +5 res, but then again Eliwood's Durandal in his own games gives +5 strength, but in Heroes Durandal has got Deathblow 2 built into it, and it gives +4 attack to Eliwood only in the player phase. So I'm really surprised that +5 bonus can be given out to units with their weapon. His weapon is really great because his attack is not very high, so he appreciates his special trigger cooldown getting reduced so that he can abuse specials like Iceberg to do more damage. +5 res is incredible and takes his res from being above average to high. His default slotty skill is close defense, which gives him +6 defense and +6 res in the enemy phase if he's attacked by a melee range unit. It can often help him live hits from some of the lance units who cannot double him in the enemy phase, as well as also living and surviving hits from blue dragons pretty easily. His res is already quite high, so it makes him a good unit to bait out mages, and because of close defense he can also bait out physical units pretty comfortably. His slot B skill is Windsweep. It's a decent option on him because he's got a speed stat where he cannot really double too many units, but also not get doubled by a lot of units. So Windsweep allows him to get free damage on other units, and then it synergizes well with close defense as he can take on the weakened enemies in the enemy phase and not take too much damage himself. One drawback about running Windsweep is that you have to run Phantom Speed Sacred Seal to make sure Windsweep can activate most of the time, so Windsweep is not really his best slot B skill, but it's decent and can give you arena points. But if you want to invest into him a lot more, I personally wouldn't recommend running Windsweep on him. His special is Moonbow, which becomes a 1-turn cooldown special due to Adelma. It's a decent special for him and can be used on his Desperation and Wrath skill sets. Overall, Joshua is one of the better free-to-play units we have got, and his high BST and legendary weapon and expensive skills make him a good choice to use in arena right from the start, and I can see him being pretty useful in Grand Hero battles and Bound Hero battles. He's a solid red unit, and I would say that he's the best infantry mixed tank. All other great mixed tanks are armored units like Sheena, Halloween Jacob, and Gwendolyn. Joshua not only has got the bulk, but he also has the speed, so his longevity is pretty good as he will not get doubled by too many units. He's a great mixed tank, and he's gonna be a very reliable unit to use and definitely worth investing into. I would also like to point out that Joshua is a great choice for summoner support as he can make use of all of his stats and the plus 5 HP bonus that he's going to be getting, it's going to be pretty useful for his bulk in the enemy phase. So now let's take a look at his best skill inheritance options. I'll begin with a budget set. A budget set that aims to give you a lot of arena points without any kind of expensive or premium skills. So you want to run his close defense and Windsweep skills, as they are quite expensive skills SP wise, and you need to inherit defense ploy from a 4-star Arvis. Defense ploy is the easiest skill to get for slot C that's expensive. Other ploy skills are locked to 5-star units, and smoke skills are also locked behind 5-star units. So defense ploy is your best bet if you want to get more arena points with Joshua. For his assist skill, you want to inherit a dual rally skill from either Tail 2, Roderick, or Oscar, as they are version 2 rally skills and they give you more arena points, and then you can keep as default Moonbow. And these are some of the seals which give you max points for your Sacred Seal slot. And Close Defense Sacred Seal does stack up with the slot A Close Defense, giving him 42 defense and 45 res in the enemy phase against melee range units, which is incredible. Due to his high base stat total, he can be easily optimized like this to give you more arena points. However, if you don't really care about arena points and just want to make a budget set, then this set can also work with Reposition and Drawback and Phantom Suite Sacred Seal. Version 2 of Phantom Suite Sacred Seal also does the job, and for slot C you can also run Threaten Defense or just any kind of slot C skill. So that was his budget set. He also has an enemy phase skill set. For his slot A, you can use his default close defense or use Steady Breath. Steady Breath allows him to abuse high cooldown specials like Glacis and Ether, while also providing some defense just like close defense. Quick Riposte for his slot B is necessary to ensure doubles in the enemy phase so that he can always proc his Iceberg in one round. Iceberg is his best special hands down and better than Moonbow in most cases, as it gives him more one-round KOs than Moonbow, and it is more consistent in terms of damage output and provides him with 16 points of additional damage whenever he procs it. So if you want to build him properly, run Iceberg over Moonbow in my opinion. If you're using Steady Breath, then use Glacis or Ether as your special. Close Defense Sacred Seal does stack up with his Close Defense slot A skill and Steady Breath, so it's amazing, and Attack Ploy also helps him take less damage and have better longevity. This set completely focuses on using his defense stat in the enemy phase, as with double close defense, he can reach 42 defense, and with Steady Breath and Close Defense Sacred Seal, he can reach 40 defense, which is pretty nice. This next set is Joshua's best set and makes best use of his qualities as a mixed tank. Distant Counter is the best slot A skill for a unit like Joshua with high res. For slot B, Quick Riposte helps him get more one-round KOs, as his attack is not really all that high, so doubles always help him, and a lot of mages are really fast for him to naturally double, so Quick Riposte definitely works. Wrath is also amazing on him with Distant Counter and Moonbow as a special, and gives him really good offensive power. If he's below 75% HP, then he's always going to be having his Moonbow charged up at the start of every turn, so that's incredible. Like I said, you want to use Iceberg with Quick Riposte and Moonbow if you're running Wrath. Distant Defense is the best Sacred Seal to have on him with this set. If you want, you can also tweak this set more to get max amounts of arena points. You can get with Joshua, you can run a dual rally skill, and Ether as a special, as Ether and Gale Force are the two specials which are most expensive SP wise, and Distant Counter is the most expensive slot A skill, so you can always optimize this set like this to have more points in arena. Those were his enemy phase skill sets, and he can also run an offensive player phase skill set with Desperation. You can run Fury or Swift Sparrow as a slot A skill. Fury also helps him proc a ploy skill if you have that on him, as it does increase his res, and Moonbow is the better special with a Desperation set, because when he's in the Desperation range and if he initiates an attack, then the first hit will charge up Moonbow, and on his follow-up attack, he will proc Moonbow. For this set, use speed plus 3 Sacred Seal, as he will be able to have over 40 speed and it will help him double more units. He can also run a Fury and Wrath set. Wrath has got good synergy with Fury, and Joshua is able to do a lot of damage with this set and with Moonbow as a special, and Moonbow will always be charged up when he's in the Wrath range. You can run speed plus 3 Sacred Seal, as once again it will put him over 40 speed, or run Attack Smoke or Attack Ploy to make his enemy phase better after he has knocked out an enemy with Wrath and Moonbow. So those were his best current tense options, and Windsweep is a skill which is available on him at 4-star rarity. A lot of people might want to inherit Windsweep from the extra Joshua you get at 4 stars, so here are some of the ways you can use it. Windsweep works best with Phantom Speed Sacred Seal, and a lot of times even version 2 of Phantom Speed is quite enough to do the job. Distant Counter is a fairly common skill in Arena, so you can definitely use Windsweep against that. Windsweep works works great with units whose job is to poke, like Jafar, who wants to do passive damage safely to his opponents, so Windsweep definitely helps him. Felicia is also another unit who cannot really initiate attack on distant counter units because of her low defense. Clarice can also easily debuff enemies and not get counter attacked by distant counter units with the help of Windsweep. A lot of units who don't have high enough speed to always double consistently can also abuse Windsweep and Phantom Speed Sacred Seal. Eliwood, Halloween, Noe, and May are few examples who can abuse it, and there are more units who can abuse it, such as plus speed Lilina or plus speed Tsunaki, who also hit 28 speed. In my opinion, units who have got a speed stat of 28 to 32 are in the perfect position to use Windsweep, and Black Knight is a really common unit in Arena, and Fury Black Knight is able to reach 37 speed, so that's why I think 28 or above speed is fine with Windsweep. You can even use Windsweep on a lot of the minus speed IV units who cannot really naturally double units, and archers like Takumi and Klein, who mainly run Brave Bow, can also use Windsweep with Death Blow, as after Brave Bow penalty they have around 28 speed and they could always run Cancel Affinity, but Windsweep is also an option. And in general, like a lot of Brave Bow archers who you think cannot really run a quad attacking set can also run Windsweep. They will still be able to double with their Brave Bow despite having Windsweep in the player phase and do some major damage and not get counter attacked by distant counter units. Windsweep does face a lot of competition with other really good slot B skills which can be run instead of it, but Windsweep is a fun skill to play around and can help you in few situations. It's definitely one of the more niche slot B skills. Now let's take a look at some of the good teammates that you can run with him. Joshua has no way of getting past through the common lance units, so a strong green unit is always recommended with him. He's not some kind of Ira or Black Knight who can just brute force their way even through some lance units. And Joshua's attack is average, so Dark Aura Tome units or Hone Attack allies can always help him. Joshua destroys green units and can take on hits from even green mages, so he can clear the way for his blue allies who are nukers so that they can go ahead and nuke stuff. And like I said, Joshua has trouble getting past through the common lance units, and Steady Breath, Black Knight, and Ira are some of the units who also give Joshua quite a lot of trouble, as he cannot really kill Black Knight in the enemy phase unless he's running Steady Breath and Glacies. And in the player phase, if Joshua attacks Black Knight, then he will just die to Black Luna. Ira is also another unit who can destroy Joshua in the player phase and easily take hits from him even in the enemy phase. Swordbreaker units are also a threat to Joshua. Swordbreaker Alphonse is often seen in Arena, so he can destroy Joshua in both phases, so watch out for these units if you're going to be using him. And that is going to conclude my unit review of Joshua. If you enjoyed, then be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, then also be sure to subscribe so that you do not miss out on more Fire Emblem Heroes content in future. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.